Buddy, welcome back to another What If Deku was Superman Part 1. Let's get into the video. So yeah, our story starts off with a spaceship firing at a planet, and we follow from Krypton, and we follow from a baby, and his parents are shipping him off on the ship, and they're gonna blast him into a different planet. And yeah, so they put him into the ship and they say, "We love you, now go be a hero." And they launch him up in the air, and he goes in the atmosphere, and he leaves and he heads to space. And then we see General Zod. He's the general of the ship, and he said, "Fire when you're ready." And then one of the other generals says, "But when?" And then the general was like, "Now." And then it explode the whole planet, and the planet is gone kaboom. Nobody, no life, just 1 trillion voices of screams, all disappeared. And then we follow from Deku, and at this point he's about to go into Mars, but an asteroid bumps into his ship and it flips him over to Earth, and he crash lands into a field in Japan. And we follow from Inka Midoriya, and she's like, "What the hell?" And Hasashi's like, "We have to go and take a look." And then they go inside the field where they farm, and they're like, "But what happened to our crops?" And they see a baby in a small spaceship, and they're like, "What is this? Is this an alien?" And then Sashi says, "Maybe stay away from it. Maybe it has eggs." And Inka's like, "Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we should keep it. You know how we can't have children? Maybe this is our blessing from God." And Sashi's like, "Maybe that is." So when around Deku's 5, he goes to Bakugo's school, and he gets bullied because he doesn't have a quirk, because in Krypton people don't have quirks. And yeah, so it's just one day when he's in class, and his teachers are like, "Deku, can you spell this word?" And then he takes off his glasses, and he blinks, and then his eyes just turn full on white, and he can see everybody's veins, their blood, their heart temperature, their skull. And Deku starts screaming, and his eyes just about to turn red. And Bakugo's like, "Stop being a weirdo, Deku." And Deku's like, "Leave me alone. You're all monsters. You're all skeletons." And then Deku's mom comes in, Inko, and she's like, It's okay. You probably manifested your quirk. Maybe you're a late bloomer." And Deku's like, "I'm a monster, like Bakugo told me." And Inka looks at Bakugo, and Bakugo's like, "Leave me alone." Deku, he comes out, and that was literally his first time using his power. And yeah, so you follow from, I guess, 2 years later. Deku, he's now back with friends as Bakugo after the little rally when they were 5. And they are just walking into the forest, and then Bakugo, he throws a big rock at Deku, but Deku, he punches the rock and it explodes. And Bakugo's like, "Deku, you never told me you're that strong. You're like all might strong." And Deku's like, "What the hell?" And Deku's like, yes, it's not a quirk. I guess I'm working out mentally instead of physically. Because realistically, I already have a 12 pack. But I've never trained. And Bagel was like, cool, Deku. But I'm still gonna bully you because you're a freak. And then the boys started coming out from the corner and they started throwing rocks at Deku because he's a freak and he doesn't even have a quirk. So they get slingshots and they get rocks and they throw it at Deku's head, but they're not doing anything to Deku. Deku, he's full on armored, like he's indestructible and he can't die. And he's like, what the hell? I couldn't even feel that. And then Buggle's like, what? You are a freak. And then they all run away in their bikes, leaving Deku there. And then Deku's like, if I can punch through walls and rocks, doesn't that mean I could fly like All Might? So Deku, he tries and jumps in the air, and he jumps super high over the trees, and he's like, what the hell? But can I fly? And then he just lands back down and smashes a couple of trees. So we skip a couple of months. Deku's around 8 at this point. He had his birthday during these months. And he went to the St. Woods, and it's an abandoned woods, and kids and adults are not allowed because there's murders around there, and yeah. So Deku, he's practicing his quirk, and he levitates a bit, and Deku's like, I'm kind of flying, and he just drops back, and he's like, oh gosh, I need to work on maintain it. Then if I can fly, doesn't mean fly is the speed of light or sound. Does that mean I can run at that speed? So Deku, he says, get set, go, and he dashes, and he's in the other side of town, and he's like, what? I could run this far? I need to tell my mom. She's not telling me the whole truth. She did say I'm adopted. Maybe this is my parents' power, but I doesn't show a quirk. I guess I am a freak. So we go to his Inko and Hasashi, and he's like, guys, I'm sorry. I haven't been telling you the real truth. I haven't been telling the real truth. What are these powers? I can fly. I can punch through objects I'm very strong. And I'm indestructible, I guess. My eyes get pure red when I'm angry. I can have X-ray vision. And that's about it. But what do you mean? What do you mean? Am I a monster? And Inko's like, no, you are, dear. We haven't been telling you the real truth. When you were a baby, we found you in our field, a long time ago. And you were in this spaceship. And she brings him to the basement. So she showed him to the basement, and she showed him the ship he was in 8 years ago. And yeah. And Deku's like, I'm an alien? This has to be a joke. It can't be. Scientists have been saying there's no aliens around. And Hasashi's like, kid, but you are one of them. Once we got you, it said you're from the planet Krypton. But it says it's no more in the universe. I guess your planet got destroyed. I'm sorry. And they was like, then where's my real parents? Do you know them? And they're like, no, we just found you. And Deku's like, God damn, I am a freak. Nobody likes me. Not even my best friends. They lie to me. They think I'm their friend. Then they go and throw rocks at me. Like, ain't right. Then Deku, he hears that there's been a fight and All Might and All for One had been fighting, and that gives him a hope, a symbol. And he looks at the S on his ship and it says hope, like he understood the language. And his mom, Inko, and Asashi are like, how did you know that was hope? I don't even know. It says an S, Deku. Like, are you having trouble reading? Nothing says hope. And Deku's like, yes it does. It says hope. There's no S, it says hope. I'm confused. And then they're like, oh, it's probably got language. And Deku's like, yeah, I guess so. So during up to Deku was 10, he's manifested his X-ray vision, his flight, jumping straight up in the air so far, running fast, and he's used his laser eyes, X-ray vision, wind breath, I think, and freeze breath, I think. And what else does Superman have? Identity swap. So basically, if you haven't read the comics, Superman, he can change his face reaction. Like, if I say he's Clark Kent, and then he's Superman, but for us, we can see the resemblance that he's Superman, but from everybody, they can't, because that's a part of his power. Identity swap. Like, they think he's probably some other dude, and Superman's another dude. And yeah, that's basically what Deku has. And his weakness is kryptonite, because once he was flying and he fell into a puddle of green liquid, and it was above kryptonite, and Deku got sick and he vomited all over the place. And he turned pale. So he stays away from that area in the woods, and yeah. So we skip up to Deku is 15, he works in a cafe, and he's just walking by around, and he's like, I really do want to go UA, become a hero and protect people, like people of my people in Krypton. And then we all hear an explosion, and it's near a chemical acid place, and Deku, he goes there, he goes there, and we all see a crowd of people, and they're like, there's Kamari Woods, he's fighting a liquid hero. And all the heroes who are standing by are like, what the hell? We can't destroy that guy, he's part liquid. And Deku's like, I could use a freeze breath, but would it help? So Deku's like, I'll stop it. And everybody's like, you don't even have a hero's license, you're just a 15-year-old kid. And Deku's like, but that's the one-way ticket to go be a hero. And so he dashes with super speed, and then he does basically a Detroit smash of like a sludge villain thing, but I guess it's water, and it just goes through, and the water thing tries and go inside Deku, but Deku is indestructible and does really nothing. And Deku's like, okay, you want to go inside of me? So the water villain is now inside of Deku, and it's trying to freeze Deku's veins and his blood, but it realizes it's not some human blood. Then Deku, he freezes his body, and it freezes the water. And then Deku's like, guess guys, I have to go. It's getting very cold up here. So he bushes through the atmosphere of the earth, and he flies towards the sun. And he goes right next to the sun, and it literally evaporates the water from inside of him. And he's like, you're very a D-lister villain. You should have never tried me. And the villain with the water quirk is just evaporating. It's like, help me. And Deku was like, And then he says, okay, so he gets a bottle from his water. He throws the water out in space, and it's just levitating. He grabs a bit of the water liquid and put it in the bottle, and then he just goes down into Earth, and he gives it to the police. And yeah, I know it may sound crazy, but I just want this what if to be a very crazy what if. Because Superman, he can survive in space. And yeah. So Deku, he's training to go to UA. And he goes to his work in the cafe, where he's a waiter and also a cook. And he starts doing his job. He's getting paid, but it's not a lot of money. And yeah, he's planning on going to the Daily Planet to make articles of heroes. And yeah, so he signs up to go to the Daily Planet. And yeah, so it's now the entrance exam. So Deku, he gets his clothes on. He runs straight to UA, and he's the first one there. He doesn't bump into anybody because he's got powers and he's an alien, so he thinks everybody's like lower than him because they just have quirks, and quirks are just basically human but with powers. And Deku, he's a whole different species. So he's just like walking up with his chest up, and he's like, So he does his test. He aces it in like 1 minute because of his super speed, but he's not as super smart as Flash and all that. So yeah, but he still finished it. Let me see. Deku, he has black hair and green eyes, and whenever he gets angry, it's the red eyes about to shoot his laser eyes. And yeah, so President Mike speaks in the hall, and he's like, don't mess with the 0 Pointer robot because there's a highly doubt that you would survive. And it's basically a waste of time. And Deku, he says, waste of time? Nothing is a waste of time for me, because I am me. So he goes into the line, and he starts stretching, and everybody's like, what the hell is wrong with this kid? And just all stretching. And then Professor Mike says, go. Deku leaps into the air, into the Earth's atmosphere, and he doesn't crash land, but he just goes down and he levitates, and then he starts flying, and he starts going through robots after robots, and then he starts getting his laser eyes and he starts shooting them at them, and everybody's like, what the hell? This kid's got laser eyes? And Deku sees X-ray vision, seeing where to attack most, and he's just punching the robots each left and right. Let me see, the robots have blasters, so they start shooting blasters at Deku, but Deku, he's basically just hitting it like a man, and everybody's like indestructible. What the hell? And Deku, he uses his freeze breath, and then he freezes like 15 robots, and yeah. So Deku's like, who's next? And then he sees the 0 Pointer robot, and he's like, I want to do a little trick on you. But he also sees the 0 Pointer robot. It's about literally, it's basically an inch where the girl is, and the girl with black hair with a ponytail is about to get crushed, and Deku's like, I'm not allowing you to crush her. And Deku, he lifts the robots with his bare hand, and the girl with black hair is like, what the hell? This kid's strong. And she's a bit unconscious, and her vision's very bad right now, and she just sees Deku just holding a robot in his one hand, and Deku, he just leaps into the air with the robot, going to the Earth's atmosphere, and he starts punching the robot left and right, and everybody can hear explosions, like he's breaking the sound barrier. And then Deku, he says, melee, Superman, punch, and he just blasts it into the moon, and we hear like space radio stations like, what the hell, there's something in the atmosphere, and they're like saying like, probably someone with a quirk, and there's like, yeah, probably somebody with a quirk, but they don't know it's a robot. And then Deku Superman lands back down, and Superman lands back down, he literally just thunderclaps, taking all the rubble off the blonde, off the ponytail head girl, and he's like, oh, is that Yaoruzu family girl who's very rich? And he sends her to the recovery girl, and he literally instantly leaves because he needs to do his work. And then he is late for his work, and he gets fired. And then before he goes to and gets his envelope to UA, he goes to the Daily Planet because he got applied to go there now, as it is his new job. And he's just walking with his suit. It's like a brown suit, and he's got glasses, and he sees the same black-haired girl, and yeah, and he's like, wait a minute, and then she's like, wait a minute, oh, you work here? And Deku's like, oh, I'm new here, I remember you from somewhere. And she's like, oh, you're the one who saved me in the UA entrance exam a couple of days ago. I'm sorry I didn't say thank you, I was kind of unconscious. And she starts blushing, and because Deku's got literally a 12-pack. Look at these guns. And Deku's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I had to go work, and I got fired, so I'm just coming here to do some articles to get paid. because I need a car to go to school for UA. And yeah. And she's like, oh, the reason why I'm here is because my father, he's the CEO of this company. And yeah. Also, I'll be your neighbor on the other office. And if you need anything, coffee, just go there. And she starts telling him where to go. And she tells him that her name is Momo. And Deku says, oh, my name is Izuku. And yeah. So Deku, he goes home, he gets an envelope, and he sees it and it says UA, and he goes to the field and tells his mom and dad that he's going to UA, and they're proud of him, so they give him a hug, and they said, yes, you're going to be a great hero, you're going to be protecting the people who are in danger. You understand me? You're my boy. I'm very proud of you. And Dick was like, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. And I think that's where we're gonna lead it off, I guess. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And thanks for the 23 subscribers, I guess. And I hope you get 100 at the end of the year. So yeah. And bye.